This is basically a video response to my friend, personal friend in real life, Thomas Leroy, founder of the Sect of the Horn God. He made a video about the satanic unity, and basically what he said I thought was fairly accurate. I'm going to put a link to his video in the video description. I'm going to add a little bit onto this. Some shit off this? Oh, great. It's another gray hair. Okay, whatever. You know, I agree with most of everything he said. And the problem with trying to unify Satanism and the Dark Fool, who's another personal friend of mine in real life, and Venger Satanist, which is a friend that I've never met, but needless to say, I consider him a friend. We had this conversation several years ago, and here's the problem with trying to unify Satanism is under what umbrella are we going to do this on? Let me adjust this fucking camera. There we go. Now I can see my bald head. Alright, is like, okay, so Satanism, you know, there are different types of Satanists. You know, you got your atheistic Satanists, you got your Leviathan Satanists, you got your spiritual Satanists, you got your theistic Satanists, deistic Satanists, Gnostic Satanists. Like, what umbrella are we going to all fit under? Okay, and as a Satanist, I've noticed my biggest critics are other Satanists, and we don't all play nice together. You know, we don't all always get along together, and you know, kind of like, you know, I'm trying to give an example. Like, say there's Christianity. There's the umbrella of Christianity. You got your Baptists. You got these guys, your Catholics, these guys, etc. I mean, when it comes to Satanism, what's the point? Satanism is about individuality. Satanist is about taking what works for you on the left-hand path philosophy and applying that to your life, depending on your lifestyle. So, there's no way to unify Satanism. There really isn't. I mean, you know, as in another example, like, I'm more of an atheistic Satanist, but I don't, I wouldn't call myself a Leviathan Satanist. You know, I'm certainly not a theistic Satanist because I don't believe in imaginary friends. I've stopped doing that since, you know, I stopped believing in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. But there can be real no unity. And what's the point? I mean, there's so few of us. Like, what are we going to do? Like, start a political party? What are we going to do? Try to get somebody elected, you know, to be president? And there's so few of us. Even if we were to unify each other, and don't get me wrong, a friend of the devil is a friend of mine, but there's so few of us that we couldn't even, if all of us moved at one time, we could barely put a fucking scratch in the dent of the armor, you know, I mean, of the other side. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And again, Satanism is about individuality. It's about adversarialism. It's about you being your own God. So, if we're talking about unification, we're talking about an umbrella under one certain type of belief, and it doesn't make any sense. It goes kind of against the grain of Satanism, and it really doesn't make any sense, you know. Unification is like, you know, I support wholeheartedly the Sect of the Horn God. Don't necessarily like everybody in there. You know, yeah, I support the Satanic Temple. Don't necessarily like everybody in there either. You know, and being running a network, one of the most popular and active satanic social networking networks, Satanic International Network, I see a lot of people come and go. You know, I see a lot of different opinions. I see a lot of fucking sharp people, and I see a lot of fucking idiots. I mean, it really, I'm not even going to go into that. That's kind of getting off topic. But it's unity, unification in the world of Satanism. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I mean, we are our own gods, you know, and we don't always get along. And even if we were to unify under, say, like, I don't know, pick a name, whatever. We're not going to be a political force. Nothing's going to get fucking done. It doesn't make a fucking difference. None of us are going to fucking all get along. It's worthless. I mean, and it also kind of goes against the grain of Satanism, since we're supposed to be our own individuals, you know, and our own gods. And, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I agree with Thomas Leroy, founder of the Sect of the Horn God. With most of what he said, I agree with. And, yeah, it's not going to happen. And even if it did happen, I wouldn't have anything to do with it. You know, Satanic International Network, the network itself, was intended to be a networking hub so Satanists can meet. And unity, yeah, you know, I've unified and solidified my relationships with people like Thomas Leroy and many others because I identify on a personal level, on a philosophical level, because I can relate and we have a similar philosophical disposition. And that's unity. That's unity. You form alliances. You form a balance. Uh, Other than that, like, no, no. I'm a lone shark. I'm a lone shark, and occasionally you come across another shark, you know, that you're friends with. But at the end of the day, it's really about you. It's about you. It's about what works for your life. You know, there's different types of Satanism. Again, atheistic, agnostic, spiritual, theistic. Take what works for you. Take what works for you. Apply that to your life. If that what works with your lifestyle, that's what you should do. Now, there is no going to be an umbrella because some of us got bigger heads than others. And that umbrella doesn't necessarily cover everybody's head. So, yeah, you know, yeah, I don't think unity or unifying Satanism is going to work. Yeah, that's about all I got to say.